Perfect. We're live. So I'm just going to read the streaming notice. So this meeting is being streamed live on the Township of Ramara YouTube channel. Be advised that by attending a public meeting of the Economic Development Committee meeting, you are consenting to your image, voice, and comments being recorded and will form part of the recording. The chair and/or secretary have the discretion and authority to terminate or interrupt the live streaming in exceptional circumstances where the content of debate is considered inappropriate to be published. Attendees are advised that they may be subject to legal action if their actions result in inappropriate behavior and/or comments. I'm going to pass it on to the chair then, Roger.
Thank you, Ashley. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Economic Development Committee meeting for another snowy February 27th. We're looking forward to getting some better weather. And again, obviously, it's election day in the province, so please get out there and vote if you haven't already. And again, welcome to our meeting this morning. If you have a chance to review the agenda, of course, from February 27th, if you see if there's any changes, errors, or omissions, or any additions you'd like to add, please, if you had a chance to review it already, let us know now. No other changes? No. Anyone else on screen? No, gentlemen. Okay. Can I have a motion put forward to? Thank you, Jen. Passed by. All right. Thank you, Keith. All in favor? Motion carried to accept the agenda for February 27th, 2025. Of course, our last meeting was December 5th, prior to the major snowstorm we had. So, of course, that was December 5th economic meeting. And they can have a chance to review the minutes. Everyone should have a copy of them. Again, if there's any changes, any additions or omissions, please let us know. It was kind of lengthy that day, so we covered a lot of ground. So if anyone has any questions or comments, please let me know.
Just one quick one for me. I know that my ego would love to think that I contribute twice as much as everyone else, but my name is listed on the minutes twice. So you probably just want to take one of those down.
Oh, I appreciate your support twice. So we can make that change, please, Ashley, then. That'd be great. Yeah, because I see a committee member as well as a CDC rep. Is that correct, Jim?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we have a motion put forward by someone to, thank you, Jen. Yes, play as amended. Second by Keith. All in favor? Motion carried to accept the actual amended minutes from the actual December 5th meeting. Working on agenda items today from the Economic Development Work Plan. If everyone had a chance to review the copy, it's quite, again, a lot of good ideas coming here. Something we're going to work towards to make our community better. You want to take this over, Ashley, and tell us any updates?
Yes. So this work plan developed by staff, and it goes from the 2018 to 2023 economic development strategy. So the strategy outlined different initiatives that the township was going to work on. So this is just the objectives and action plan outlined from there, and as well as outlined within our 2025 budget. So you'll see some of those items are for our mayor and council to do. So things like delegations with ministers and different ministries, so on and so forth. But there's some of the things that we'll be doing with staff. So one of them is, and I hope at our next meeting, is bringing a film policy and procedure. We've had some requests over the last 3 years for different film crew and different either TV or movie networks request to use some of ours or even private facilities. And so without having a policy and procedure in place, I find that as staff, we kind of just scramble and trying to understand what is best practices, who addresses the certain questions. And so I think it'll be good to have that policy brought forward and talk about that and looking at it from an economic development lens. How can creating more a Ramara as a filming destination will help promote that area? So that is one of the things that we'll be bringing forward. The other one is an economic development strategy, so we can replace or update the 2018 to 2023, as well as updating a CIP or creating a CIP and a signage strategy. So the signage strategy and plan would incorporate RTO 7 specifications, and would kind of create an outline of where we need to update some of our branding for the township, as well as creating more of a opportunity for those who are traveling to the area to understand where our different focal points would be. So we'll be working with our committee and kind of looking at that plan, creating an RFP, putting out to tender, and then seeing those results when they come in. And as a committee, you can then look at it to see if there's any tweaks. So on and so forth from there. So some really exciting things happening this year, things that the committee can really kind of dive right into. So I think this agenda is quite light, but going forward, it will be a bit of a heavier agenda with different things that will be on it.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone have any questions? Or go ahead, please, Jen.
Thank you, Roger. Through to you, to Ashley. The one question I just had, just for clarification, the last bullet point in the blue section of the work plan, where it says implement a community improvement plan, CIP. On the other side of that, in the middle column, it says begin the CIP process for Brecken and identify other areas. And it says begin. Are we starting over, or is this like begin the implementation?
Well, we're still in the beginning stages because there hasn't been a community improvement plan actual document created. So to me, it's still in the beginning stages. Yes, a document has been outlined, but I don't think it is, to me, it's in the beginning process because council hasn't seen a draft. B has talked about the draft, and there is an actual public process to that as well. So that is why that word begin has been chosen, not that we're redoing the efforts that staff has put into it, but that we're still in that initial stage.
Excellent. Thank you.
Does anyone else have a comment at all or suggest? I have one. I just want to, in reference to the blue section, support business retention. And again, on improved communication and coordination with business support. It says continue to maintain partnerships with relations with in terms of Aurelia Lake Country. I'm curious what the strategy is here because obviously Ramara was a founding member of Lake Country, and we're kind of disappointed when council stopped being an equal partner with Oral Medonte and Rama First Nations and of course City of Aurelia and Severn. And we no longer have a DMO at this time right now. So we've lost some tourism opportunities. And so I'm curious, what is the plan, how we can mend some fences here, because we're no longer part of their advertising campaign in any of the Toronto trade shows. We're no longer part of any advertising on their website. Ramara has been wiped off all their past history of any signage. So I'm just curious, how can we mend fences when we're no longer equal partner that the other individuals are and the other neighbors will have in our area. So I'm curious, how can we actually do that without being an equal partner with Lake Country?
You're absolutely right. And it's something that staff are going to have to research, but we do have a little R economic development committee, and sometimes Aurelia and Lake Country sit on it for different initiatives. And so working collaboratively with them with different promotional opportunities. So for instance, the Simcoe County has a trails map, and that is in partnership with Aurelia and Lake Country. So this year, Ramara did not have to pay that fee, but following years, we will have to pay an additional fee to be part of that initiative. So working with Aurelia Lake Country, is there times that we would have to pay additional money to be part of some of those different collective opportunities? So it is something that we would have to work with Aurelia Lake Country to see what that could be, what that relationship would look like, or if it's bringing it back to council to see, do we participate again with them?
So if we were an equal partner, we wouldn't have to pay that extra fee?
Yep, absolutely right.
And I said, I know from talking to our neighbors and our partners, they are disappointed we can't continue to work together. We've had a long-standing relationship. We work to market our region. We have competition from the Muskokas and Kawartha Lakes and many regions of the Georgian Bay Area. So I always felt it was important to stay as a team and stay focused as a group. So I would love to see us go back to Lake Country and be an equal partner again to share some ideas and share some marketing opportunities in a region.
So that would be an initiative that we would bring back to council for council to make that decision on kind of what we would look at as a tourism opportunity going forward, whether it's a partnership with that or we're utilizing some of our other partners like Simcoe County Tourism and the different things that they can provide for us.
Does Simcoe County have any plans right now? I know we had a deputation here 2 years ago, and I haven't heard much. It's been pretty quiet. I just wonder, is there any other ideas they have on the floor at this time?
Maybe it would be a good idea if I have them come to maybe an economic development committee to explore kind of what they have done for us. So they do provide a quarterly report to myself on different things that they have promoted for the township, but I can provide that to the committee so that way the committee kind of can see what experience Simcoe County has done and what they could be doing for us as well.
Because my question, obviously, if we unfortunately have some tariffs coming our way in this country, we need to be stronger more than ever to promote our own backyard. Dollars to what the dollar in Canada may not be in the States, but we need to focus on how we can get more people to stay in our region, spend more time, beds and heads, as it's called, spend 2 or 3 more days in our region. So it's about working collaboratively together with some of our partners. So I think we need to kind of refocus on some concept and ideas, because if these tariffs come, I think it's going to hit us hard in our communities, especially in the tourism sector. So we need to be aware of that, and we need to say, how can we move forward and be proactive instead of sitting on the fence? We need to attack and be prepared for some of these challenges, and it will be a challenge in my understanding. So hopefully we can find a way to work together is the bottom line. I think that's important. Any other comments or suggestions? Go ahead, please, Ashley.
Do we want to add a motion to for staff to set up a presentation with Simcoe County Tourism to
I think it's a great
explain?
idea. Like, we need to update. Let's be proactive. Let's move forward here. Let's see what they would suggest and how we can work together and help each other.
Okay, so do we want to approve the motion? Do we want to put a motion on the floor to add that onto our agenda? That we approve for staff to set up a presentation with Simcoe County Tourism Department on how they can support the Township of Ramara's tourism initiatives.
I'll put that on the floor.
Okay, great. Thank you. Can I have someone to second that? Thank you, Keith. All in favor? Motion carried. Thank you, Ashley. I guess it's important we be more active than ever before. Go ahead, please, Keith.
Just, I will comment on your, what you were mentioning about kind of banding together. We did pass a request for a staff report on how we can improve our purchasing to include local, provincial, federal, and trying to look at that as much as we can. I mean, some cases you can't help but go outside and offer that because of the cost savings, but we're trying really hard to stay local, stay Canadian, and support that effort as well.
Yeah, I think the support local program for agritourism, for any sector in the tourism industry this year is going to be very important to work together with our partners and to keep this message strong. And I think it's going to be more important than ever before. So I agree. Thank you. Any other comments? Bert, do you have anything? No comments? Okay. Yeah, Ashley, please proceed.
Do we have a first and second? Oh, sorry, Michael.
Sorry, I don't know the history. Did we choose to leave Lake Country, or so we can go back when we want to?
That is correct. They chose, the council at that time decided to leave Lake Country.
Okay, thank you.
I might just throw my 2 cents in here. I don't speak for Aurelia Lake Country, but I know that they're in my building, so I'm talking to them all the time. Though I think there was some disappointment in Ramara removing itself. I don't feel that there's any hard feelings, and if that was a decision that were made by council, I think it would be more than happy to have that relationship continue.
Great, thank you. Please go ahead, Jen.
I can put my council hat on for a moment. Yeah, the decision was made by council to keep that money internal rather than send it out to Lake Country. You are correct. There was some disappointment. Absolutely. I have addressed, because I see Lake Country at different events, had addressed more on a one-on-one opportunity to say, these are the concerns that we did raise with you while we supported you, and the changes that we would need to see if there was ever an opportunity to partner in the future. And I did express that, come a time, absolutely come back to us, with the addressing the concerns that council had. Because there were some things, and without going too far into the weeds, we can have conversations about it afterwards. There was just some things that we just didn't feel that we were getting the value that we felt that we can get that value from the county. So I think now that we have that past motion on the floor to bring the county in to see what they have to offer, then we can actually compare back and forth, right? Versus what they said could happen and what is being able to happen. With an opportunity to re-explore an opportunity to partner again with Aurelia Lake Country.
Yeah, I can honestly say we're disappointed because we lost a film production recently last month. They were told not to film in Ramara, told not to have an association there with snowmobile television. It was very successful. Of course, we finally got some snow this year to actually snowmobiling, so that was kind of rare. But yeah, how can we work together is the bottom line. We're neighbors and community partners, so we need to stay focused on that message, I think. So stay together by marketing together and shop local. Mm-hmm. So go ahead, Bert.
I just wanted to echo Jim's comment about no animosity, because Lake Country is actually delivering some. Monday is the start of their Tap into Maple program, and the Farm Gate's been part of it since its inception. So we're part of it again this year. But they're out here today, so they're around and active. So.
Absolutely. And I don't believe, at least from the conversations I have, that there is any animosity from members of council or from Lake Country. It was a business decision that was made, and right or wrong, uncertain, it was the decision that was made. And I have invited them to come back to council to have these conversations again. So they seem to be willing, and they, at least with these one-on-ones, understand the position of council and why the council made that decision. And so I think that helps with the no hard feelings. I think that certainly has helped, that I've been able to have those opportunities to have those conversations.
And I think the other partners would welcome back as well. As I said, there's no I in team. So if we all stay together as a strong, the group of 5, I think it makes a big world of a difference in the future. And especially this year with the potential tariffs coming. So that's going to be a challenge. Any other comments at all? Ashley, go ahead, please.
Sorry, just for formality, because we're just still in the 2025 work plan. I didn't know if we brought it on to the floor and if there was a first and seconder. I didn't get a first and seconder for that. Was it yourself and Keith again?
Yeah. Okay. We're all in favor. Okay, so you want to move on to 4.2 then?
Everyone's good with it? Everyone.
Okay, so the other questions in 4.1. Okay.
Yep, 4.2 then.
Work plan. So moving on, 4.2, the County of Simcoe Economic Development Office verbal update. Nicole.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank Chair. Nice to see you all today. Happy New Year, if we can still say that. We haven't seen each other since December, so great to see you all and happy to be back this year. I have a few updates from the County of Simcoe. If I start rambling, just tell me to stop. But I do have some applicable updates that I think that align with your conversation today. So I'm happy to give them, but I'll start with our talent attraction and retention initiative. So the Management Essential Employer training on developing effective teams was moved from December to January due to the weather. But this was an opportunity for employers to come and get a digital badge and have a credited towards Georgian College's full micro-credential program. Additional training will be taking place in the spring in partnership with Lakehead University, as well as Simcoe Muskoka Skill Force. They're still in preliminary discussions on what that program will look like, but that's soon to come. But most likely will be around soft skill training solutions and train the trainer programs. The Skilled Trains and Apprenticeship, there it is, Expo, planning is underway. The save the date is for May 22nd and will be held again in the Allenville Arena. Outreach is currently being led by OYAP coordinators from the school board, and planning for the event or the evening portion, which is open to the public, is underway as well. The apprenticeship boot camp was held earlier this week at Georgian College's Midland campus, and in partnership with the college and Support Ontario Youth. This is an opportunity for employers to participate and connect with job seekers who are interested in exploring apprenticeship opportunities in the region. And the Workforce Connect conference planning is underway, and that'll be held again in June. And as a reminder, this conference is for Simcoe County employers to come here and discuss best practices and insights on employee attraction and retention strategies. In regards to business retention and expansion, we're proceeding with the 2024-2025 Agriculture and Agri-Food Value Chain Work Plan. One of these items is working closely with Nottawasaga Futures for their Acknowledge Forum, which is happening tomorrow. And I'm happy to say that one of the 3 local farmers that will be presenting is Ramara's own Bert Harrington. So super excited, exactly. Thank you again again, Bert, for your participation. Really looking forward to that. And so the event will be from 8:30 to 2 p.m. And as mentioned, attendees will hear from local farmers, as well as have the opportunity to browse a vendor market at the end from 12 to 2. That's new this year. And it will be a tasting market for the attendees as well as the public to attend and celebrate together. So looking forward to that. We are also organizing a delegation to the CanSec trade show, which is Canada's largest defense and security trade show at the end of May. This delegation is in partnership with Aurelia, Barrie, Aurelia and Barrie, and of course, the County of Simcoe. Businesses operating in aerospace technology, cybersecurity and manufacturing, and are looking to explore opportunities in the defense sector. We're welcome to present an expression of interest by February 14th. And so the logistics and planning that is now underway in relation to that, we also had a webinar hosted by FedDev, the Southwestern, I'm forgetting the actual, it's a whole big title, but it's the Federal Government Ontario for Economic Development. That was just sharing opportunities in the defense sector and how everyone can get involved and details for the CanSec trade show. So we've been working on that. We are also relaunching the Made in Simcoe campaign. And so in light of the potential tariff actions, we were wanting to show our support and relaunch that. And so we're in preliminary stages of repurposing our videos and instilling a pride of being made in Simcoe County aspect within those videos. So more to come on that. On the topic of tariffs, we've also created a website for tariff information for county businesses that we are trying to update as much as we can. And this includes a business impact survey. And so we're really encouraging all businesses to fill out this survey and express how they would see these potential tariffs would actually impact their businesses. So we have a better understanding of how we can support them moving forward. What else do we have going on? We are working on updating an automated process for our community profiles by using our statistics page that's new on our website. This includes profiles for the county as well as our individual municipalities. And so this is a great opportunity for investment attraction initiatives. And it would be great that typically it's updated every 2 years. So in this new automated process, it'll be automatically updated. So it'll save a lot of time and will be a great opportunity for, again, investment attraction. I think the last thing I'll say is that from the whole county perspectives, that the local immigration partnership has dedicated March to be the It Starts campaign. This is a public awareness campaign that's designed to take proactive steps towards addressing racism and discrimination within Simcoe County. The county has dedicated a site of noting a few ways everyone can be involved in the campaign if everyone is wanting to learn more about that. I'll leave it at that. Does anybody have any questions or anything?
Just a comment, really. Glad to see that you're moving forward with the Made in Simcoe campaign, because this thing that's going on south of the border, as always, there's challenges, but there's also opportunities. And with that program already underway, at least in food, we're ready to go locally. We've been pitching local food, which happens to be Canadian. So everyone's set to go. So thank you for that.
Nicole, when are you planning to launch your Made in Simcoe County? Is it a spring program or summer program, or do you have a plan for a date for launch?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Through the chair, I would say that we are really aiming for as soon as possible.
Okay.
So we're fingers crossed for March. The discussions with our Service Simcoe department has begun, and creating and repurposing the videos already made, like our B-roll and stuff like that, is underway. But as a specific date where that will relaunch, I don't have yet, but we're really pushing for early March or sometime in March.
Curious because I know a lot of stores are putting stickers made in Canada, and it's making it easy for the consumer to recognize a product actually made in Canada. And if we had stickers like that to put on Burt's maple syrup made in Simcoe County, that would be a great start to put more emphasis on our own local products. So whether it be food, whether it be promotional equipment, whether it be a mechanical, whether it be manufacturing, I think now's the time to spread the message that, you know, we're open for business and we needs everyone's support to work together. So that just suggestion, if you had some made in Simcoe stickers or any like swag you can actually get out to the businesses, like that would really be a big addition.
Thank you for that. Absolutely. We have tons of made in Simcoe County stickers. So I'll discuss with tourism to see how we can distribute that all throughout the county. But absolutely, the more we can boost made in Canada, made in Simcoe County, the better. So thank you for that. I will investigate how we can get everyone those stickers.
Well, thank you, Nicole. Appreciate your presentation. Any other comments from the floor? Okay. Thank you, Nicole. Appreciate it as always. We're always appreciating support from Simcoe County. Okay, so moving on to 4.3.
We need a first and seconder for that.
Oh, sorry. A second. Oh, Michael. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate that. Okay, thank you, Jen. Jen and Michael. Thank you. So
Get my name in the minutes.
okay, good. We appreciate that. So move on to Community Development Corporation, office verbal update from Ashley, 4.3.
It'll be from Jim. Jim is here from the CDC, so he'll be able to provide a better.
No, you can do it, Ashley. You go ahead.
Please go ahead.
I'll give you just a quick update. Lots going on at the Aurelia area CDC. I'm going to highlight two specific items that are going on right now. One program that is called our Pathways to Employment program, which is a youth employment program, and we define youth as age 15 to 30. A program through Service Canada where we do some job skills training with youth in the area. And then do some work with them on some job readiness, building up skills wherever we can to make them more employable for those that have some barriers, and then matching them up with an employer locally. And there are some subsidies available to employers to take those on for up to a period of 6 months. So in that case, you know, your employer is getting, you know, a more ready young person to bring on, as well as some subsidies for those things. We have a number of youths that are already have been intaked. I don't know what that is, but we are searching out additional employers, and I would suggest in this that it's not only the youth that we have in-house that have already been through our program. If an employer has identified someone that they would bring on, we would be willing to entertain that idea, where we then put them specifically through the job readiness training, get them up to speed, and then would still apply those subsidies to the employer. So please reach out to anyone here at the CDC or take a look at our website for additional details, or if you have anyone that you want to spread that word out to. Second part is probably more of our core business, our lending program. We were funded through the federal government during COVID for a bunch of COVID money for small business in the area. A lot of that came due over the end of 2023 and early 2024. That is to say that we are currently sitting on a lot more cash than we would like to, cash that is to be invested within our communities that we serve. So we have lending opportunities for businesses that are looking to, you know, they need new capital. We have a specific program that is designed just for working capital, to be able to inject it into businesses with a decreased interest rate currently at 6%. So a fair bit below what normal business lending rates would be in a traditional lender. We also have lending programs for not-for-profit organizations, which is something I don't know that is as well known here. That we do work with not-for-profit associations and have lending opportunities within that. Currently, the program is designed to lend at interest rates that match the 5-year GIC rate. So if you think that through, a not-for-profit organization right now can currently borrow money at about just a hair over 3%, probably less than the mortgage rate that everybody in this room is sitting at. So those things are available. All of these lending opportunities obviously have to be adjudicated. You know, we don't do silly loans, we do good loans. But those things are opportunities that are available to all the folks in Ramara that do business. All of these loans are adjudicated locally, including Bert Harrington, who's one of our volunteers. So you know, these are decisions that are made by people that understand our community and the challenges and the things that we have going on here. So that's the quickest update that I can give on the two top items on my list. Happy to take any questions.
Please go ahead, Jen.
Excellent. Thank you. We were talking about your Pathways to Employment program, and I don't know if I missed it, which is quite possible because I was writing. Is there a sundown date for that, or is this just ongoing until funds run out? Like, is this an opportunity that we can maybe encourage employers that might be looking for summer students?
It's ongoing currently through March of 2028. So that's as ongoing as you can get, I think, in the annual funding world. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. And sorry, can I follow up? The businesses that you are looking for, are we looking for a slew like skilled workers as well as possibly like the unskilled workers as well? Like what sectors you're looking for? Is it?
Yeah, we're pretty much in non-discriminate in that term. We'll take wherever that need and the fit exists. You know, we work in retail, service sector, manufacturing, you name it.
Amazing.
Jim, thank you very much. I've attended some of your workshops in the past, the CDC. They're a great way and a great avenue to promote different opportunities. Do you have any workshops planned for the spring or summer coming up that's more applicable? We should be aware of our community?
You're putting me on the spot here. I'm going to say yes. I don't know what they are. Take a look at the website. I know there's a couple listed there that I just can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, we have a constant rolling ones. There's typically one each month.
Okay. I think they're a great addition. I've been to one at the Fern Resort. I've been to ones in Aurelia, the different hotels. So it's a great way to network as well with different business. But I thought if you had anything new or something special, I know, again, we're all nervous, this tariff issue coming to our community. So that could be a new workshop coming up as well. How else can we support local and buy local?
Absolutely.
I have one of their workshops that, because I know I've shared it on social media for the CDC, and that's their Mastering Canva, the Advanced Design Techniques, and that's Tuesday, April 1st. And that one's at the Ramara Community Hall. And I can make sure. So going forward, instead of verbal updates, we're going to have more of a written update. So things that I know that the CDC are holding, we'll make sure that is on the agenda. So that way it's open and transparent, just like the emails that I receive from the County of Simcoe. Usually it's weekly, just different initiatives and different programs that are happening. We'll make sure that it's on there. So that way anyone who can't attend a meeting can actually have a written copy through the agenda and what will be discussed or what is going on within the different businesses and different organizations.
Thank you, Ashley. And it's a great idea to get the message out there. The more people we can actually get that message out that, again, we're open for business, we're trying to help out people, or trying to help out businesses, the more we can do that, the better, I think, actually. So that's great. Any other comments for Jim or any questions? I know. Okay. Thanks again, Jim, your presentation. Appreciate that. Thank you. We want to move on to anything else actually on unfinished or new business at all?
We need a first and seconder for that one too. For that we received the Community Development Corporation Office verbal update as information.
Go ahead, please go ahead, Jim. Okay, Jim, first and second, Motion. All in favor? Motion carried to accept the presentation from Jim from the Community Development Corporation. Thank you, Jim. Again, any unfinished or new business? Go ahead.
I have a couple items that I wanted to talk. Ashley, you kind of got a little ahead of, and one of the requests that I was hoping to put before the committee today was actually when we get the updates from the CDC and the county that they're included in the agenda as well. Sometimes when I go, by the time they're available in the minutes, events have passed and I'm scribbling feverishly trying to keep up with my notes. So I didn't know if that would be something, of course, amendable, of course, with the CDC and the county, if they were willing to do that work ahead of time as well, to get it to you to be added to the agenda portion as well. So then we can follow the dates rather than missing them.
Absolutely. That is actually going to be one of the changes for April. That will be on the agenda. So that way it isn't just a verbal update, that we have everything beforehand, that it's there, and both the CDC and the County of Simcoe are happy with kind of the information being shared. So that way those businesses and organizations and the community members can see it.
Yeah. So that was just, so you got ahead of me for that.
We currently create a regular report for the Aurelia Chamber of Commerce. So it would likely just be the same report, maybe with a different date and a heading on it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Is your report quarterly, Jim?
All these questions that I don't know the answer to.
Okay, sorry.
That sounds right, but I'm not certain.
Okay, just wanted to confirm that. It would make sense. Spring, summer, fall, winter.
If I can just jump in
Please
there,
go
'cause I
ahead.
sit on the Aurelia Chamber as well. So we do the updates, council updates, as well as we have updates from the hospital and all the different partnerships. So the CDC, when they're there, they provide it was every other month and now they're going back to a monthly meeting again. So it would be a monthly report that would be coming in.
Great. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Another new one.
Please go ahead.
Sorry, another new one. We kind of discussed this a little bit at our last meeting, but there was never a motion put forward because we were trying to figure out what the best way to get this in front of council as well. So Ashley and I have had a couple of conversations. I had brought up about attending that teeny tiny summits that was put on by OMAFRA. So I'm wondering if we can continue that discussion here and then maybe put a motion on so it gets into our minutes, so it can get in front of council, so that we can have the conversation at council on how we can maybe bring that into our municipality. It was the one that I had attended was last May, I believe it was May. And it was in partnership with OMAFRA, 3 different municipalities in Ontario it hosted. Minden was the one that I had attended. And just the support and information that I found invaluable out of anything. And then this is of no slight to any other opportunity that I've had to participate in, but this was probably the most impactful and that I gained the most knowledge from and most valuable at the cost of $5 as a participant. And the keynote speakers, a lot of it was geared towards, Hastings in that area because that's where it was hosted for maybe a quarter of the day. But we had just the different ideas on how these teeny tiny municipalities, a lot of them rural, the keynote speaker was from Australia. So he had brought examples from all over Canada and of course some of the communities in Australia, but it really triggered something in me that since being to that summit, that I've kind of got some brilliant ideas that I'm going to be excited to share with the committee when I get things down on paper. I was working with Zach when he was with us. I was working with Robin when he was with us, and now I'm working with Gail. And the staff that Gail has introduced it to, and Zach and Robin and myself, all seem to be pretty excited on how it can support economic development. And that was an idea that that took root at this teeny tiny summit. And I really think that it's a great opportunity because there was people that came to Minden from Ottawa, from Simcoe County, from Collingwood, from Toronto, even though they're not a teeny, like the outskirts cities of Toronto, like the bigger Toronto area, it brought people to the community, introduced them to the community, had them talking about going to Minden with their people, their partners back at their tables too. So I think it's a really great opportunity to maybe investigate something like teeny tiny summits in Ramara. So I was talking to Ashley before the meeting. So I don't know if we want to have it as specific as teeny tiny summits or if we want to say opportunities like this to host such as teeny tiny summits. So we get teeny tiny summits in there so that she can get some direction, but not so limiting as only teeny tiny summits. Because I'm pretty sure that even through agritourism, they might have different opportunities that are similar. So to limit ourselves to just what they have available through teeny tiny summits might be a stretch, but I mean, it was just, I can't say enough about it. Like I still talk about it.
Can I just ask you a question? Who provides the land for these teeny summit opportunities?
So the one that I attended in Minden was actually hosted at their community center.
Okay.
So it was one of the municipal community centers. And so it was in partnership with the municipalities, with OMAFRA, and I'm not sure where the rest of the funding came from. They had one of the local artisans there that did soup and sandwiches was the meal, with some apples and bananas and granola bars to snack on. I don't know much about the model on how it got to be, because that same summit, when it was offered in Grey Bruce somewhere, I can't remember the exact municipality, it was a $35. So I don't know if the difference of cost was because of what the partnerships locally were able to provide, or the venue, or the food. So I'm not sure why the difference in cost, but the model of teeny tiny summits is affordability, to make sure that they're well attended. And I don't know that there was quite 200 people there, but there was more than 100.
The reason I asked that question is some communities now are allowing secondary residence on a secondary property. So if you had a primary property, they allow a secondary one. Is that something that teeny tiny homes would be allowed, or do you have to have a separate land and build like a small park?
Oh,
community?
teeny tiny summits this one is solely focused on economic development.
Okay.
So I'm talking about like, as far as that, they dabbled a little bit in housing and
Yep.
some of the challenges, but I mean, it was really focused on having municipalities, at least the topic for this one. Ashley had attended one the year prior, so I'm not sure what their topic was, but this one was solely on like teeny tiny ECDEV.
Okay.
And how to make a small community an actual dot on the map.
Right.
As opposed to just having to zoom in until you can find it, right? Like how to find it.
Please go ahead, Keith.
Through the chair, I'm just wondering if would it be appropriate to just invite them to do deputation? Deputation for the committee.
I'm gonna look at Ashley for that, because I'm not sure who we would think, if that would be an OMAFRA or.
I may have a question. Would this be part of the CIP for the future as well? Because that's something we could actually tie into that.
Yeah, like I'm just looking at what direction you're trying to get. Like it was.
I want to host. I want Ramara to host.
You want us to host something
Yeah.
similar.
I want Ramara to host. Which again, when Ashley and I were talking, would probably have to come in front of council. And so this, by putting it on the floor to get the support from the committee as an advisory board, is a way through the minutes to get it in front of council so that we can have a conversation at council.
Yeah. I just wasn't sure if you were asking for a staff report on similar, or if it's specifically this one you want to go after. Like, I'm in support. It sounds really good, but I think we need to give some specific direction for staff so that we can, how we're going to lay it out.
Okay, so maybe we can ask, so I'm guessing that our request here, our motion here would vary for staff direction when it comes in front of council. So maybe I'll ask Ashley on how she would want that motion to read, so she can get it done to get in front of council.
So there's two different ways we can go, but I'm going to read the first motion. Just let me know if this is what you're looking for. So that staff research and provide a report on how to bring hosting to bring opportunities to host workshops and economic development events within the Township of Ramara is kind of what you're looking at. Is how do we bring various whether it's a workshop or this teeny tiny summit event within the township. So whether it is within a township facility or a private facility, but you're looking at trying to create us as a hosting spot for these different opportunities. Am I right for thinking, is that the direction you're looking at?
Yes.
For the chair? Someone else would have to put that on the floor if that's.
I have a seconder for that then? Jen? All in favor? Motion carried. Put that on the floor for any time period you're looking at, Jen? Is there? Okay. Great.
Oh, yeah.
So, but go ahead, please go ahead.
Yeah. So just as a point of clarification, the Teeny Tiny Summit is about a group of small municipalities trying to figure out a way that they can survive in the world of the larger municipalities. It's not related to housing, small housing or anything.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Is that okay, Ashley? You got everything? Is that, that's it? Okay, so any reference to any unfinished or new business from anyone today? Anything else from you, Nicole, from Simcoe County? You guys are always a wealth of knowledge. You're good. Go. Okay. Anyone else? Yeah. Anything else from you, Ashley, today? Anything else you want to bring to our attention?
No, the one thing that through the chair, through that Councillor Fisher mentioned was just the having more written information on our agendas is one of the biggest things that I was going to bring up, but it kind of brought up as we were talking with both the county and the CDC updates. So that was just one of the highlights I wanted to mention.
Any comments from our Zoom members today? Any other things you'd like to bring to our attention or put on the floor? Okay, thank you very much. Can I have a motion put forward to maybe adjourn our meeting at 10:18 today? Thank you, Jen. Bert, second it. All in favor? Motion carried to adjourn the meeting at 10:18. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, all.